I want to welcome all of you here in the third masterclass, where I'm actually going to show you how to create income while still being employed. I do understand that it is sometimes very overwhelming and very scary to actually leave the safety of corporate and then to actually attempt to start your own business. So that's why I launched these masterclasses, just to show you step by step what you can do. My previous masterclasses, I talked about the bridge strategies, how to go and actually plan your actual exit from corporate world. And my other masterclass, I actually showed you the different streams of income that is extremely important if you want to build a successful business on the side. So yeah, even for me, I definitely make sure that I don't have just one income stream. I am a firm believer of multiple streams of income. So please, do yourself a favor if this is your first time joining. I do see some of the old familiar faces here. Thank you very much. But yeah, if you are not familiar with me, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself just now. But please do yourself a favor and really to go watch my previous masterclasses, and you'll see how informative it really is. So, without further ado, let's start. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. There we go. Okay, so as I'm said, I am Debbie Hartmann, and I literally help women build, leave the corporate confidently to actually start your own business. So this is where I do come in. So a little bit of myself, a little bit of background. For the last 23 years, I've gained a lot of experience in psychology, in marketing, in graphic designing, sales, and then, of course, entrepreneurship. So I really do come with a vast amount of knowledge of corporate and then as well with entrepreneurship. This is not my first entrepreneurship. I already started with my first business when I was about 25. And then I do a business, then I go back to corporate, do a business, go back to corporate. So if there's somebody who knows how to leave corporate safely and confidently and then start their own business, it is me. So that's why I knew I have this expertise to actually help you to start a business, because I've done it multiple times before. So now currently my last entrepreneur stunt is now literally now for 5 years. I resigned during COVID. Don't recommend that, definitely not. But I did. I resigned, and then literally I became a life coach. So currently I am a full-time life coach. So where I do one-on-ones, I do a little bit of group coaching. I help adults, I help teenagers. I literally help everybody with their mindset. And then of course, this whole course called the Brave Leap is literally where I help men and women leave corporate safely and then start your own business. While employed, or if you may, like me, took the brave leap and just resigned and then immediately start your first business and get that income stream going. Okay. So yes, I know all about burnout. I know all about the fear, and that is why I can definitely talk with authority and tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. Okay. So today in the next 60 minutes, you are going to learn the hidden asset inventory that reveals the income opportunities that you are overlooking. Okay, I'll explain this when we get to there. We're also going to look at the micro offer method. So not going big, all guns blazing all at it as a first time. We're going to small micro offer method, so you can get paid before you actually start a full business. We're also going to do the problem spotting formula to easily identify what people will actually pay for. So where does the opportunities lie? We can identify those things. And then my first 5 client formula that works even if you hate selling. Not all of us are born salespeople. So, I was actually born introvert and very shy. But one of my corporate jobs was actually in sales. In the beginning, it was extremely hard. But today, I love selling. Actually, selling is not, I see selling as a service, so I actually enjoy selling. And then, of course, the last set is the mindset mastery framework that you need to overcome if you want to start a successful business. Okay, so let's move on. So section 1. So in section 1, we are going to look at the side hustle mindset reset. Very, very important. So there's the three biggest myths that actually keeps corporate women stuck, and it actually put them in fear of not to start their own business. So the first myth, of course, is that you need a fancy plan and at least 50,000 Rand, or, if you're listening from overseas, let's say $5,000 to basically start a business. Okay. It's not the truth. Okay. The truth is you don't need a business plan. You don't even need a website or even a freaking logo, any type of investment. You just need to start. That's all that you need. Okay. You need a valuable offer that people will pay money for. That's all that you need. So the other stuff will come later on. But for now, just to start, that is literally all that you need. It's literally a valuable offer that people would pay for. The second myth is you need to find your passion first. Once again, no. Okay. So if you're going to build passion businesses, it's going to take much longer. Okay, not everybody enjoys your passion. If your passion is, I don't know, let's say knitting, yeah, I don't think there's going to be a big market for knitting. So don't follow your passion first. I love passion, but always follow the impact first. So see first what you can create with your current skills that you're really good at. And when you already build that business, you can build a second stream of income that is your passion. Okay, but never start with passion first. Very, very important. Okay, then of course the third myth is the market is too saturated. Everything's already been done. I get that a lot. Especially because I work with accountants, I work with marketing consultants, I work with, it's mostly the same type of job. And then when I say start something, they say, oh, there's already enough accountants, there's already enough people in HR, this already been done. If I had that mindset, I wouldn't have become a life coach. Just in my little area where I live here in South Africa, there is literally 7 life coaches in a radius of 10 kilometers. 7 of us. So if I had the mindset that I can't become a life coach because there are no life coaches, I would have been sitting here today. So I said, despite of there being 6 life coaches, I'm going to be number 7. Lucky number 7. And I can with honesty tell you that I'm thriving in my little community. And remember, people buy people. People buy reviews. People buy testimonials. So that's the thing you need to focus on. There can be 10 plumbers in one thing, but if your testimonials are good, if your service is good, if you're giving value to your clients, people will always find you. People will come looking for you. So it's important. Okay. So you need to reset your mindset when it comes to thinking about it like an entrepreneur. Just when I left, before I actually left, I thought I had to get the website ready, I had to get my logo ready, I had to do all of these things, and it felt so overwhelming because I still had a corporate job. Now I want to do all of these things, and it felt like I didn't have the time, I didn't know what I was doing. And then actually, funny enough, I told one of my clients, and she immediately said, Debs, why are you trying to build a business if you can just help one client now? That's very good advice. She said, no, just focus on one click, get one paying client now. Tell them what you do, how you can help them. And from then on, you start building the business. And that's exactly what I did. I got my first paying client. It was 3,500 Rand. And I did it in a time frame. It was literally it was about 4 half-a-day sessions. And then I got the results. And then because of the testimonial, I started doing more and more. So only later on, I built a business. But I focused on what is the problem that this person had, how I can solve it, and what the results would be. And I got my first paying client. Okay, so don't think about business. Literally think about what can you solve right now in this moment with your skills. Okay, so like I said here, think client, don't think business. Think problem solving, not passion finding. Think micro offers, small ones, not massive products. We don't have the time to do that. We're still working. Think strategic hours, not more hours. Think income first, infrastructure later. Okay, so you have to remember these things if you want to start your own business. Okay, so now let's discover what skills you have that people will already pay for. Okay, So I call this the hidden asset inventory. You have hidden assets that you're not even aware of that people will pay for. Why aren't we aware of this? Because we don't sit and actually take the time to actually do this. Okay. So the biggest mistake a corporate women make is thinking that they need to learn a whole new skill to make money on the side. And that's also just a myth. Okay. You are already sitting on a gold mine full of valuable assets. If you're in the corporate, if you do anything, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you have some skills that nobody else does have, or they do, but you have a unique approach to it. So we all have skills that people will pay for. Just remember that. Okay. So we're going to uncover now. I'm going to help you just to start thinking about what is the assets that you currently have that you can use to actually start a business. Okay. So I call that my voice framework. Okay. So it's 5 categories that you need to look at in your own life to see if you have these assets and if you can then actually use them to start creating an income stream. Okay. So the first one is the valuable skills. Okay, so these are the technical and professional skills you've developed throughout your career. So no matter how long you've been employed, you've been in corporate, you've been doing a job, you actually gain some skills. Now, if you are project management, if you're in financial analysis, are you a marketing a strategist, are you working in HR? So you know about processes, you know about people management, operations and system optimizations, sales, negotiations, writing and editing, research and analysis, training and facilitation, technology implementation. So currently sit and think in your professional capacity. What are the assets or the skills that you currently have that you can write down? Write down all your technical skills, your professional skills. Write it down. Then I want to look at the overlooked knowledge. Okay, so the overlooked knowledge. So it is a specialized knowledge that you've accumulated that seems obvious to you, but is still very valuable to somebody else. Remember, like me, I don't know a lot about accounting. I literally still help my brother with Excel spreadsheets. Luckily we do have a literally accountant because, I can't do those things, but if somebody comes and they show me on Excel a new formula how to streamline my strategies or my calculations, freaking hell. They know something that I don't know. Where I can come to somebody and say, did you know that the algorithm of Instagram is currently looking at these type of things, and that's why you can't have these type of posts. So then I'm the expert in an accountant's life that's trying to advertise but don't know how. Okay. So literally look at your industry specific skills that you think is obvious but is not. Do you know the compliances of your industry? The software, the tool expertise, process frameworks, methodologies, best practices and benchmarks, risk management, change management, vendor management strategies, quality assurance protocols, or crisis management procedures. So out of these things, where do you fit in? What type of strategies or methodologies do you have, methods that it seems obvious to you, but just thinking somebody that is not in your industry, would they find this valuable? Okay, so really look at this. Then the next one, let me just move this thing. Oh, sorry, let's go back. The invisible superpowers. Okay, so these are your natural talents and soft skills that you might be taken granted for. Okay, so it's our personal skills. So if you are good in communication and storytelling, are you perhaps good with problem solving and critical thinking? You have a huge EQ, emotional intelligence, and relationship building. Are you good at conflict resolution and mediation? Strategic thinking, creativity and innovations, adaptability, leadership. How many of you are sitting here as actually leaders that can actually use this skill to start a side hustle? Coaching and mentoring. So when I literally started doing these lists, and I knew that I was a good leader, I was a good mentor. I was in a corporate environment, and it was actually manufacturing, but I was the sales and I had sales assistants, and I was extremely good at telling them how to do things. And I had the patience and I had to know how to coach them to actually make them believe in themselves. So without me knowing it, I was already a coach. So then I just use my skills now of I'm very good with communication. I've got extremely good strategic thinking and vision setting. I'm good with relationship building, and that's why I started a coaching business. And now I'm starting a business mentoring side hustle, side hustle from my side hustle. But I'm using all my soft skills to see what will people actually pay for, because not everybody out there are mentors or are good at coaching. They can attempt it. Some of them are good, but not everybody has the skill to actually mentor somebody with patience and with knowledge and wisdom. Okay, so really think in your industry, or in you as yourself, what is your soft skills that you can actually monetize? Okay, then the connection one. Okay, so your relationships and access to people or information that others would value. Okay, so think about this. If you are the connector with your friends, people always come to you because you know everybody. Yes, that is a valuable asset. So really go see what, in your community, in your industry, in your professional network access. I always say is who you know. It's not what you know, is who you know. And if you can become a powerful connector, people always come to you for something. And you can connect people, and people love networking and connecting people. So that is even a skill. The people that you know, if you know somebody who's good in making freezers or something, you can connect that person. And you can later on, you can become the referral. People pay you for referral fee to actually get the right people in. Okay. So look at the organizations where you're in. Look at your supply and vendor relationships, Thought leaders, if you know any thought leaders, that is a connection. That's a skill that can be monetized. Okay. Event or conference access. So don't overlook these things. These are also categories that you can look for, that you can use in your product offering, that can be monetized. Okay. Then you earned credentials. I'm sure some of you sitting in, you actually have earned credentials. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a degree or diploma. You maybe won the top rep for the last 5 years. That's credibility. Okay, so really go look at your professional certifications, your degrees, your awards and recognitions. Your published works, your success stories, your case studies, your testimonials. Have you ever been in leadership positions? Because that gives you credibility. Your project successes. What have you accomplished that, you were in a team, but you came on top? What are you really good at? Go look at those skills. Okay. Look at your performance reviews and achievements. So all of these things, all 5 categories you can combine and see. You literally have to go sit down and list these things. I'm telling you, that is where your gold mine lies. It's not learning a total new skill. That's going to take time, effort, and money that you don't have at the moment. But you already have skills, you already have connections that you are not aware of, that you can actually utilize to start creating this amazing business on the side. Okay, so really go look at this. So the exercise that you need to do for me is to go list 3 valuable skills you possess that others might struggle with. Then look at 2 pieces of overlooked knowledge that would be value outside your company. Look at 2 invisible superpowers that come naturally to you, 2 connection points that could have value to others, and then 1 implement of earned credibility that will establish you as an expert. So that's going to be your homework. So really jot this down and go think about it. Do this work. Okay. So this is your hidden asset inventory, the foundation of your first income stream. The key is to look for the intersections. The key is to look for the intersections between what you're already good at, what others actually struggle with, and what you can deliver in a limited time frame. That is where your gold mine is. Okay, so see the intersections. We'll come to now what other people struggle with, how to know this. but that is where you're going to start finding your first income stream. Okay. So this is just an example of Priya. She was a corporate finance manager. And she came to me, she said, but Debs, I don't have any skills. It's, I'm a corporate finance manager, but yeah, I just do what I do in my corporate thing. How can I reach other people? I don't even know what I'm actually good at. So when we sat down, we actually went through this list. We saw that her valuable skills is financial modeling and cash flow management. She's extremely good at that. She knows where the cash goes and how to manage cash and make sure cash comes in. Was very good with that. Her overlooked knowledge was, she was great. We told, that person who told me about a little formula. She's an Excel expertise and tax planning strategist. Her invisible power was explaining complex financial concepts in layman terms, in simple terms. That was a superpower. And she didn't even know she was good at it. Because she's talked to me about all this jargon, I say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Just speak to me like, like 101 for dummies. And she started explaining it, and she actually brought in some of my life coaching things. And I said, wow, that's a superpower. If you can do that, you can explain things to people to make it very simple. Okay. Her connections, she had a lot of relationships with small business owners and small business accountants. Her credit and ability, of course, she had a CPA and 10 years of experience. So that was her inventory, her asset inventory. So we took that, and instead of building a full financial consulting business, she literally created a small little program called the Cash Flow Clarity Session. It was literally an hour and a half little session where she would take small companies that review their financial status and see how she can actually help them to better plan with their cash flows. Okay, so she charged 2,500 Rand. She booked 4 clients in her first month, making 10,000 Rand without disrupting her job. So she did this part-time, she did this after hours, and she actually gave up 2 of her Saturdays, but that was worth it, so she can get the credibility, she can get the testimonial, also to build the confidence muscle that she can literally do it. Okay, so now that we've identified the assets, let's talk about how you can package them into an offer that people will pay for immediately. Okay, so this is what I call the micro offer method. Okay, so what is a micro offer? So the secret to making money quickly on the side isn't creating a complex business model. It's creating what I call a micro offer, what is a small, specific solution to a painful problem that you can deliver in a limited time frame. A small, specific solution to somebody else's pain point or pain problem that you can deliver, that you have the skill to deliver in a certain time. Okay, so that's called a micro offer. Okay, so let's look at the 5 elements that you must use to actually get clarity on what your offer can be. Okay, so the first one is it must solve, so this, I call this my 5 elements is that you need to, first of all, solve one specific problem. Okay, not multiple problems. You're not going to sort out his cash flow, his tax, his VAT, his whatever. You're going to be very specific. You're going to look for one thing. And she focused on the cash flow issues, because a lot of companies have cash flow issues, especially when you have clients that's not paying so well. So she focused on one thing, cash flow. Okay. And not general support, because general support, they can pay a PA or a VA or whatever it is to do general support. You must be specific, one problem that they're sitting with, one clear defined problem that causes a pain in their life. Okay. The next one, deliver one tangible outcome, not multiple outcomes. Okay, because then you're not an expert. You must give them one, and then later on they can pay you for another result. But also look for, see what they can measure. It must be tangible, something that they can see that there is an outcome. They were in position A, they want to go to position B. How did they get there? It must be tangible. Okay. So specific result the client can see, feel, or measure within days or weeks. Okay. So I increase your cash flow with 20%. They can physically go and measure it. There's more money in the bank. Okay. Third one is requires minimal time commitment. We don't have time. We all work full-time jobs. So we want to do something that's not going to be so time consuming. Okay. So even for the person you offering the service, they also don't have time. So make sure that you actually do things that can be in quick turnarounds. Okay. Even from the client side, no long-term contracts. You say, I'm going to come in quickly, do your cash flow, and then I'm out. Okay. Leverage your existing expertise. Guys, that's what we're told. Don't learn a new skill. What expertise do you have that you can actually monetize? Okay. So no learning curve, no learning time, money, or energy going in to learn new things. You're going to use your current expertise. Okay. Something that can be delivered around your schedule. Okay. So evenings, weekends, or early mornings, compatible with your job. Very important, guys. I'm all about integrity. Okay. You're not going to do this in your company's time. You're not going to do this using company resources. You're going to do this on your own time, with your own resources, your own paper, your own printer, everything. It is all about integrity. So I really do believe in you. You will reap what you sow. So, if you're going to be unethical, when you actually have your own career and your own business, something bad, unethical is going to happen, because that's just a full circle it needs to go. So please, guys, always remember, when you do this a side hustle, don't take up your corporate time, energy, or resources. Okay, very important. Okay, so let me show you how to do this. So so we call it the solve framework, So the S stands for specific problem. What exact problem does your ideal client have that you can solve? Be specific. Okay. Not marketing help, but very clear. Say, LinkedIn profile that doesn't generate leads. I'm going to help you clean up your LinkedIn profile so you can actually generate leads. Not just marketing support. And that's too general. So something very specific that your client sits with that you can solve. Okay. The O stands for outcome promise. What specific results will they get? Okay. Make it tangible. Once again, not better marketing, but 10 qualified leads within 30 days. Okay. And please don't oversell yourself. I always say start smaller. I would say 2 qualified leads within 30 days. It might not sound wow, overwhelming, but at least 2 leads that he didn't have. But I'll just make it not 30 days. I would say 2 leads in 15 days. Okay, so it's definitely in the beginning when you start, don't oversell yourself. And then later when you see it's possible, then you say 10 leads in 30 days. Okay. The L stands for limited time frame. So how quickly can you deliver these results? Okay, so it's very important. People like to know, well, when can you get this done? When building a house, well, when will the house be? Everything in life is time frame, because we live, for this freaking thing in our arm, this time, this clock. So make sure that you can deliver it within weeks, and within days, within months maximum. Okay, but make sure there's a time frame on your offer. The value proposition. Why is this worth paying for? There must be value. If you're not going to offer value, people are not going to pay you for it. Okay, it's like if somebody's not going to save time, money, or energy, we're all about convenience. So if you can come in and say, Debs, I'm going to take your registration pains off your hands, and I make sure registration goes out and whatever it is, I say, great. Because it's going to be valuable for me, because I'm going to have more time to do something else as to actually sit down, be bogged down with actually admin. Okay, so make sure that is something that people will pay for, that's actually value, that you're saving them time, money, and energy. Okay, and then the E stands for easy delivery method. That's how you will deliver your solution. Make it easy for them. If it's calls, templates, reviews, workshops, make it easy. They don't have extra time or energy to spend, so you need to make it as simple as possible for them to reach this result. Okay, people love done for you things, not do it yourself. So really think if you can structure something that is done for them and they can just plug and play. People love those type of solutions, and people will pay lots of money for making their lives easier. Okay. Let's move on. So here I'm going to share some examples to show you how you can use your skills in a certain profession that you might be currently in. So let's say you are in marketing. Okay, so you call yourself, you are going to do the LinkedIn profile makeover. You are going to target people that you see there are businesses, but their LinkedIn profile is not generating leads. It's all over the place. It's inconsistent. You see that, and you say, okay, I'm going to help you to actually streamline your LinkedIn profile, because that is where you generate most of your leads for your type of business, and I'm going to help you with that. Okay, so the problem is that these clients have outdated profiles, not generating leads. What is the outcome? She's going to optimize profiles that attracts 5 connections requests weekly. Okay. And she's going to do it within 3 days. Not months, 3 days, because it's not a big thing. It's to sit and clean up the LinkedIn profile, make it nice, like a nice bio or whatever it is. So 3 days. And the delivery is going to be a profile audit. So you do a before shot. You had 10 connections. This is what it was. Then you rewrite it. And then you get it after. Look, now you've got 15 new, connections and people replying and 2 new comments and whatever it is. You're going to show before and after. So it's a tangible outcome. You can literally see what the outcome was. Okay. For HR people, so, the hiring process rescue. So the problem that the clients have is struggling to find and keep quality employees. Guys, it's a real struggle. I'm actually in BNI, Business Networking International. And so I rub shoulders with about 104 entrepreneurs every week. And you can definitely hear as they talk that the struggle is real to find good and keep the good qualified staff. So if anybody of you are out there in HR and you have a solution for this, there are people willing to pay for this. Okay. So this outcome is going to be to streamline hiring the process and interview scripts. So when the client actually interviews, he knows exactly what to ask for. The deeper questions, and just know, can you do Excel? Can you do this? Whatever it is. The deeper questions, their motivation, their drive, why they're here, if their why is big enough to actually stay. What is that they need, they want from the company to feel that they are actually part of the team. Okay, so the script. Okay, time frame. So 1 week project, and then what's the results? Once again, the process audit, template creation and implementation guide. Okay. So let's say in finance, you are going to do the profit clarity session. So the problem is where business owners doesn't understand where money is going. Yeah, really, that is real. So, you're getting income, you have the expenses, but you don't always know exactly where it's going. And you're not aware of freaking banking costs that eats up your money, or all the subscription fees, and you think about, so a client paid me 20 grand, but why is there only 11 grand left in my account? So yeah. So looking at that type of a pain point. So what will the outcome be? Clear profit levers and 90-day action plan. Okay, so they will show you what is happening, where it's going, do a little spreadsheet and say, this is a better way to save money, do less of this, do more of that, whatever it is. 2-hour intensive session, so they go through everything, go through your statements and whatever the case is. Delivery is going to be a financial review, profit analysis, and prioritized action steps. Okay, let's say you are in operations, and you're going to do a system streamline. So the problem is inefficient processes is wasting time and money. Your outcome is going to be documented, optimized workflow, saving 5+ hours for the client. You're going to do this within 2 weeks, and your delivery method is going to be process mapping, optimization, and implementation support. Okay. Let's say you're in sales. What can you do? You're going to do the sales script makeover. Okay, especially new upcoming businesses, and I employ their first sales staff, and not even the owners are aware of what to say or how to sell the product. So you come in and you actually create little scripts they can actually give to the salespeople that they are confident and they know exactly what they are selling. Okay, so this company's problem was the low conversion rates on sales calls. So getting a lot of sales calls, but they can't convert them into a sale. So you then customize scripts that increase the closing rate by 20%. It's a 1-week development, and you do call analysis, script creation, and you actually practice the sessions with the people. Okay. So do you guys see that all of these things can be done in your own time? You just have to have the offer to see what the problem is, what is the outcome that you're going to give, what is the time frame you're going to do this in, and how you're going to deliver it. Okay, these are the important steps that you need to remember. Okay, why do I like these micro offers? Okay, it is because they can generate income very quickly, even sometimes within days. Okay, they require minimal setup or infrastructure. You don't need a big website, whatever it is. You can just go. You create immediate client success stories, so you get this testimonial to actually build credibility. And it can be delivered around your work schedule. So you do it at night, you do it over weekends, you do it after hours, whatever it is. Okay. And definitely, you can build your confidence and proof of your concept. That's once again, go back to the testimonials. So you've done 3 or 4 clients, you can show, look, I've helped all of these clients, then people are more willing to hand over money because there's already proof that you can deliver what you say you're going to do. Okay, so your exercise is going to be to literally look at, what is the specific problem you're going to solve? What is the outcome you promise? What is your limited time frame? What is the value proposition and how easily you can deliver it? Okay, so pause this video and then literally write down when you're going to re-watch this, please pause the video and then write this down and start creating your micro little offer. Okay, so make it anything in the beginning. Like I said, don't overprice yourself because you first need to get the confidence. You first need to get the results. So price it anything between 3,500, 5,000 rand, depending on what it is. Sometimes it's going to be less, it's going to be 500 rand an hour or 1,000 rand, or whatever it is. Okay. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be specific, valuable, doable with your current constraints. Okay. Later on, you can refine it when you get the feedback. I said, I didn't like this, this didn't work. Then you can refine it, but just start. Okay. So now that you have your offer, let's talk about how to easily spot what people will pay for. It's an interesting part. Okay, so how do we actually know what people will pay for? How do we actually do the market research to see if our offer will actually create income, can be monetized? Okay. So first you need to look at the complaints that you hear all around you. So that is the spot number 1. So listen and look at around your own surroundings, what people are constantly complaining about, or what problems they constantly find. Okay. Where to listen? I'm sorry to say, but I am quite an eavesdropper. I'm not proud of it, but sometimes my ears just pick up certain words, and when somebody have problems about the relationships or trauma or whatever, then I listen. And if there's a possibility, I'll go in to introduce myself and offer my service. Okay. I know. So listen to, when your colleagues talk at work, they struggled with, I don't know, standing in long queues to find their license, or, their child support didn't come through for the month, or whatever it is. So listen to the conversations your colleagues are having that, sometimes people, we're all in freaking chat groups, so they always get Karen is there and she will always complain about something. See what people are complaining about. LinkedIn posts, Facebook groups, networking and conferences, family gatherings and social events. Use your ears. Listen to what people are complaining about. What problems do they have? Because in somebody else's problem, that is where you can offer a solution, and that's where the money is going to lie. Okay. Listen for things like, I'm frustrated with. I wish somebody could help me. I don't have time. I don't know how. It's costing me a fortune. I keep making the same mistakes. These are the phrases that you need to listen to, because that is where the problems is. If you can find a solution, if you know a solution, that's where the money is. Okay. So Sarah, she was actually at the networking event, and she actually heard I was actually BNI that she actually heard that the 3 business owners were complaining about their messy bookkeeping and how much their accountants were actually charging them, to do the slips and whatever. So she heard about this, and then she knew she actually have a system to, get all the slips and a better flowing system to get the slip to do the tax and whatever. So she offered, she called it a book cleanup intensive. And she literally she told them about it, how she can help them, how she can actually streamline their things. So when it's like you actually give it to the accountant doesn't have to spend hours and charge them more. And she got her first 3 paying clients. Okay. Spot number 2. So where else do you find problems that you can solve? In Google search. Okay. What people search for reveals what they are struggling with and that what they are willing to pay to solve. Okay. So, simple thing, go into Google, type in there, how to, and you put your skill area. How to do budgeting. How to create a party for 3-year-olds. Yeah. So whatever your expertise is, if you stay at home mom and you've got it down how to pack healthy lunches, other moms who are busy, they will pay for your ideas. Just saying. Okay. Then also look at the autocomplete suggestions, because you say how to, and then all of this comes up. So you see what people are actually Googling to see what problems they're currently facing that you can solve. Also check out what people ask for section. Just after that, you say what people ask, and you see there's a lot of questions. See what people are asking. Notice which results have ads. Okay. So that means people are paying to reach these researchers. Okay, because there is a solution that you can offer. So look at those things. Okay, so have some examples here. How to manage difficult employees. That is an HR consulting opportunity. How to improve cash flow. Financial consulting opportunity. How to increase sales conversions. Sales training. How to streamline business processes. Operations. So just go how to, and you see what people are struggling with and see if you have the skill that you can help them to solve this problem. Okay, number 3 is literally your own area of expertise, your own corporate world, whatever it is. Okay. So let's say you've already, if you think about it, in your own corporate world, you've already solved problems that others are struggling with. Okay. So look at your own past struggles that you struggled with, but you found a solution, you found a strategy, you streamlined something so that now you're actually expert in. Okay, so now I ask you, think about the last 2-3 years of your career and ask, what was the biggest challenge you faced and overcame? What mistakes did you make that you learned from? What process did you improve or create? What skill did you develop that made a big difference? What problem do colleagues still come to you for help? Okay, this is gold, people. Really, go think about it. Take the time and really go answer it. And like I said, it's not going to come up immediately, but keep on asking the same question. What skill have I developed that made a big difference? And then in 2-3 days, that answer will come. And that's the skill that you can use to help somebody else who doesn't have that skill yet. Okay, these past struggles are gold mines because you understand the pain intimately. You have proven solutions. You can speak the language of someone facing this problem. And you have the credibility from having solved it yourself. Gold. Okay. So here, once again, just an example. So Michael struggled for months to implement a CRM system for his own company. Now, at his company where he was working. So finally, he succeeded it. He made it very nice and clear. And then actually colleagues from other companies asked him to help him with their CRM systems. So, he saw opportunity, he did it after hours, and he actually helped them with a 2-week service to help small businesses do their CRMs so they can actually work for them. Yeah, and he literally created 12 grand. You see, using something that he struggled with, he overcame, now he can do it for somebody else. Okay. So let's do the problem validation test. Once you've spotted a potential problem, you need to validate it. Okay. It doesn't mean that every problem is going to be worth gold. It doesn't mean that every problem there's value in solving. You need to validate first if people will pay for it. Okay. So do the pain test. Does this problem cause real pain for somebody? With time, money, stress, or missed opportunities. Okay. And guys, if you're not using ChatGPT, I don't know where you are living, under the rock or whatever, but ChatGPT with these type of things is golden. You put in the problem and you say, are there people struggling with it and why are they struggling with it? And you can literally put all of this in ChatGPT and it will give you amazing feedback. Okay. Also the urgency test. Do people want to solve it now? People will not pay for something that is not a pain in this moment. If I need to sort out SARS now, right now, because I want to transfer a property, I will freaking pay money. But if I need to source out, I don't know, later on, I'm not going to give up money now. I'll do it later on when it's really an urgency. So look at the urgency problems right now that people are desperately looking to solve because there's a time limit on it. That is freaking gold. Okay. The budget test. Would somebody pay $3,000 to solve this problem? Okay, so you really need to go do your market research. What are people currently paying for more or less the same problem? Do your homework. And then the access test. Can you easily reach people who have this problem? Okay, it doesn't help you are going to help somebody struggling to get, I don't know, freaking goats up the Himalaya mountain. It's a real problem. I don't know if it's a real problem. You don't even know. But yeah, if it's not accessible, you can't get to the Himalayas and know anything about freaking getting goats up there. Do something in your area, in your own vicinity that you can reach people either online or in person. Okay, very important. Okay, if you can answer yes to all four, you found a profitable problem that you can solve. Awesome. Good. So here is your action plan that you need to do. This week, I want you to have 3 complaint conversations. Listen for problems that people mention. Okay. Do 5 Google research related to your skills and note what people are searching for. Write down 3 problems you've solved in your career that others might struggle with and run 1 potential problem through the validation test. Okay. So say validation test, put it into ChatGPT, give you a problem and say, is this a valid problem? And poof, pops your uncle. Okay. Section 5, the Mindset Mastery Framework. Okay. Guys, like I said, I'm all about mindset because I can be as a valuable coach as I want to be, but if my mindset is not correct, if I live in scarcity and lack and thinking I'm not good enough, whatever, my business is not going to work. So one of the biggest things that the entrepreneur needs to do when you go from corporate to entrepreneur is change your mindset. You can't keep on thinking limited like a corporate employee. You need to change your mindset. So let's look at the 3 top ones that you need to change when you want to start implementing this offer. So the first one is the permission to authority. So the corporate mindset is, I need someone to tell me that I'm qualified. Okay, so you always look for validation. Did you do a good research? Did you do a good job? Was the report good enough? So you're always looking for validation from people around you to say you did a good job. With entrepreneurs, there's freaking nobody telling us we're doing good or not doing good. Yes, we do have reviews, but when you just start, you don't know. Okay, so you need to make sure that your results speak for themselves. That you actually do get the results, you do get the testimonials, you actually do get the reviews. Okay, so in corporate, you wait for promotions, approvals, validation. And your side hustle, you must give yourself permission to help people and charge for your expertise. Okay, so authority exercise is write down 3 problems you've successfully solved in your career. For each one, ask yourself, if someone else had this problem, would my solution help them? If they say yes, you have the authority to offer a solution. Okay. Authority doesn't come from diplomas and degrees and nonsense like that. Okay. A house mom who serves healthy meals within 5 minutes because she's not a working mom, she's saying a home mom, whatever it is. But if she have a solution how to neatly pack, I don't know, glitter away so it doesn't explode in the house, that's a solution. Okay. I don't know how you're going to market that, but I'm just saying. Don't think that you only get authority because you've been working a million years in a place or you have degrees or whatever. If you solve the problem, you have authority to actually help other people. Okay. The second one is to, go from perfect to just doing it. Okay. Perfectionism is really one of the biggest enemies of profit. Okay. A corporate mindset thinks that you need to have everything perfect before you start. You're never going to start, I promise you, because nothing is ever perfect. Okay. But with a side hustle mindset, entrepreneur is I'll start with what I have and I'll improve as I go along. Just freaking start. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need a website, you don't need a logo, you need to have this huge, big course, 12 weeks laid out. Start with a micro one and see if people are actually willing to pay for it, and then you go. Okay. So learn from your first paying clients, and then you start planning and you improve on your service. Okay. But it doesn't have to be perfect, the first one. Believe me, I was so scared I'm going to, stuff up my first. I did NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, on my first client. And I was so scared. I thought I'm going to fry her brain or do something weird. And, but I anyway did it, and I did a very good job. But at least I tried, and then I improved on my skills, and I learned my script better and whatever it is. But I promise you, your first client is always going to be scary. But like I said, if you don't do it, you're not going to start. Okay. So Lisa spent 4 months trying to create a perfect financial planning course, while her colleague did a simple offering with budget reviews for less than money. And then she actually made more money than Lisa when Lisa actually finally launched her program. Okay. So remember, done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Repeat. Yeah. Okay. Number 3 is literally going from a scarcity mindset to abundance mindset. Okay, so the corporate mindset think there's not enough opportunity to go around. There's enough financial planners. There's enough HR managers. There's more than enough marketing people. No. Hustle mindset thinks there are unlimited problems to solve and people to help. Because that HR manager, that accountant is not in your networking area. It's not in your vicinity. Your best friend doesn't know about that accountant, but she knows you. Okay. Guys, you can't have a scarcity mindset in business, entrepreneurship. You are going to shoot yourself in the foot and you're going to crawl back to corporate. And I don't want that for you. Okay. So shift from, scarcity to thinking about, you're not going to compete with somebody. You're going to collaborate with someone. I'm literally collaborating with other life coaches, mindset coaches. They find the work and I slot in, or I give them opportunities to come and give, because I'm a mindset coach. Well, I don't do, I have this new coach I work with, and she does more the Reiki things and whatever. And there's some of my clients that do enjoy it. So when we do a women's event, I invite her so she can do her skills with my clients. So it's all about collaboration. And then other times she invites me. So it's also look for opportunities where you can actually collaborate with somebody. You guys can be a power team. Okay. The abundance test is, instead of thinking who else is doing this, ask how many people need your solution. Okay. The market is bigger than you think, and there's room for everybody. Okay. Confidence only comes from actually starting. Okay. Confident women don't wait to feel confident. They freaking start. Okay. Confidence comes from evidence, and evidence comes from action. Without starting, without actually doing the first client, you're not going to build confidence. But the more you start helping people, the better you refine your program. I believe you, me, there, your confidence will grow. Okay. But you have to start. Okay. So your mindset action plan is choose one mindset shift to focus this week. Notice where you slip up in your corporate thinking. Consciously choose your side hustle thinking instead. And then take an action step with your new mindset. And then also celebrate the small wins. Okay. So first 5 clients formula. Why 5? Okay. I always say if you have first 5 clients, that is going to generate income immediately, and you can use that 5 clients to validate your offer, to generate your first income, to actually build confidence and testimonials, refine your process, and create momentum. Okay, so you don't have to have this big marketing funnels and social media presence and fancy websites. Once again, get your first 5 clients. Okay, so there's 3 phases of finding your 5 clients. So the first one is literally looking in your own circle, the warm test circle. So, look at your former colleagues, your current for your former colleagues, your bosses, your industry peers, professional associations, friends, and family members, and neighbors. So that is people who's in your warm circle. Okay. So you're going to approach those people first. I know you're cringing. Oh no, I can't sell my offer to these people. Like, what are they going to think? Yeah, no, you're not going to get far if you have that thinking. Okay. But I'm giving you the actual script of how to approach them. Okay. So the warm circle approach is make a list of 20, 30 people in your warm circle. Reach out with a value first message, not your offer, just a message. Share what you are working on without the pricing, because people scream, oh, she wants money from me. Ask for feedback, not business, and listen for problems you can solve. Okay, so here's the script. Hi, Peter. I've been thinking about you. How are things going with your plumbing business? I've recently started helping, small business owners with cash flow problems through my cash flow intensive analysis. I'm in the early stages of gathering feedback. Would you be open for a quick 15-minute call where I can share what I'm working on and get your thoughts and your feedback and your input to see if this is something that other business people will use? No pressure at all if you're too busy. Okay. If you tell this to your friends or your colleagues, you get a lot of nice people out there and they will say, yes, of course, what are you busy? I'm interested in what you're doing. So you didn't ask for price, so they don't obligate to pay something, but you say, I want your input. Okay. So it's coming from a place of service, not selling. You're asking for their expertise, their input. You create a natural conversation and you position yourself as a problem solver, not a salesperson. Okay. Then the next phase is when you actually have these conversations where you focus on their problems, not your solutions, their problems. Guys, you always have that client in mind, not yourself, not your offer, not your product, not your course, their problem. Okay. So the 5 questions that uncover opportunities is, what is your biggest challenge with cash flow, with getting leads, with organizing your Tupperware cupboard, whatever it is? How is that problem affecting your business, your team, or your results? What have you tried to solve it this far? Would it be worth to have this problem? What would it be worth to actually have this problem solved? Would it be helpful if I shared that I have helped others with similar challenges? Okay. So this conversation naturally leads to either a perfect fit for your micro offer, a referral to someone who needs it, or valuable feedback that you can use to refine your offer. Okay. And then the third phase is actually where you have become the fit between their problem and your solution. Okay. So this is the extent after a natural invitation to work with you. Here's your script again. Based on what you shared, I think I can help you. I've been working with small business owners to solve cash flow problems through my cash flow intensive analysis. It involves a quick analysis of your cash flow, income, and expenses, and typically results in better cash flow options. The investment is 2,000 Rand, and I have availability to start next Wednesday, and it will take 2 weeks. Would you like to hear more about how this might work for your situation? Not salesy. You must have that. You need to call me. I can help you. Ooh, no. Use scripts, people. Use scripts. You can even ask ChatGPT to give you a script just for your thing. But use it, put it in there, put your solution stuff in there, you'll see. It's amazing. Okay, so this approach feels natural because it's a logical next step. It focuses on their specific problem. It is clear and transparent about the process and the investment, and it gives them an easy way to say yes or no. People don't want to feel pressure. So it's an easy way to say, oh, yeah, no, no, I can, whatever. Or yes, that sounds fantastic. Okay. Once again, your homework, list 5 people in your warm circle, draft up your warm circle message, and then schedule a time in your calendar for these conversations. Remember, we're not trying to sell everything to everyone. You're looking for the right fit between somebody's problem and what your expertise is in. Okay. Don't be salesy. Okay, so now to go from the side hustle to the brave leap. So you have different months. Okay. So this is very important that you have almost like a year plan, so you can start implementing this. And after a year, you know, if you're really good with this and you stay focused, that you can resign within a year and have the same income or even more. Because so phase one is the validation, between 1 and 3rd month. Your goal is to prove your offer, that your offer works and people will pay for it. You focus on securing your first 3 clients. So your income is going to be minimal. Maybe say 2,000, 2.5 to about 10 grand, depending on what you sell. And your key milestone is to get your first paying client and a testimonial. The second phase is between month 3 and 6, your stabilization one, as that's when you start having consistent income and refine your processes. You focus on repeatable client acquisitions. Your income is going to grow, and your key milestone is to have predictable income. Okay, then your next phase is then between 6 and 9 months of 12 months. Scale towards replacement income, optimize your offers, increase your pricing, because now you've got expertise, you've got testimonials, so you can actually increase your price. So your income increase, and your key milestone to match at least half of your current salary. Okay, then after 12 months, okay, this is when you're almost ready to resign, as that's when you create your financial runway for Brave Leap. That's when you start saving to work with me to help you further, or another business coach. You focus on savings and preparing your exit strategy. You approaching or exceeding your corporate salary with the finances. So you're already almost there, or you're actually exceeding. And your key milestones are 6 months plus of living expenses saved. Okay. This path doesn't have overnight. Guys, you need to be patient. You can't plant a seed and think the apple tree will come up tomorrow. If you have patience and you have resilience and you stick to this program, I promise you success will come. Okay. So it is very important that you do this homework. So first of all, you're going to have to complete your asset inventory list. You have to create your first micro offer, practice the problem solving, spotting formula, implement the 3 mindset shifts, and then reach out to 5 people in your warm circle. Okay. You need to do it again and again and again. But this process really works. Okay, this is how I teach my clients. I sit with them, I hold their hand, I help them. We formulate this, we formulate their product, and then we get their first paying clients. And I still haven't had a client who didn't make money in their first month. Okay. Now you need to ask yourself, this is a very, very quick question. You know that you are ready to leave. You know that you want to become an entrepreneur. You crave that freedom. You want a business of your own. You're sick and tired of giving your valuable skills away and you're not getting paid what you are worth. Okay. So this is where I come in. Like I said, I've got the expertise. I've helped many clients start their first business income streams, their second business income streams. So you need to make a decision tonight. You can do it on your own. You can watch more masterclasses. You can get your own templates. You can do this. The information is out there and it is possible. Believe me, it is. When I just started, I did it my own way and it was hard. Then I got a business coach and everything started to flow. So you need to decide if you want to do it slowly or you actually want structure, speed, and strategy. This is where my course, The Brave Leap, comes in. Okay. So what is the Brave Leap? The Brave Leap is a 12-week course. It's got 3 phases. So phase 1 is where I do a mindset rewire. Like I said, it's very important. You can't become an entrepreneur and still think like an employee. You need to build the resilience. You need to build the tenacity. You need to have an abundance mindset. You need to get through the winter months of each and every business. Not live in fear and doubt all the time. You need to believe in yourself. So that starts everything here. So we first fix that. Then I help you with your actual product. If it is a physical product, if it is a service, whatever it is, I sit down with you and we refine it. We see where your client is. What is your ideal client? What is your product? What is your messaging? Okay. Then I help you to launch it. I help you with your sales, marketing, social media, and daily operations. How to get started. Okay. But this is the entry level, guys. I'm not going to let you do your whole financial planning and your full social media. I'm going to show you what you need just to start. Okay. Later on, of course, with any courses, it is going to be a follow-up. Then when you're already 6 months, 3 months into your business, then there's a next step where you can start elevating it and start expanding your business. But this is literally an entry-level course to help you set up your pages, how to get your messaging right, your brand identity. Guys, it's so important that people will, from the get-go, see you as an expert. That you don't use a little bit font here, color there, whatever, and what you think, oh no, this person doesn't look like an expert. I help you build your foundation right from the start so you have a sustainable business. That is very important. Learn from my mistakes. Okay. So what does the 12-week course entail? So it's 12-week course. You actually get pre-recorded videos that you watch, and then you have weekly calls with me. You also get personalized support via email and WhatsApp. It's a comprehensive and practical, guys, my vault is amazing. So all the things I've ever learned, all the courses I've ever taken, all the extra stuff I put in a thing called the vault, and you have lifetime access to that. That is almost worth 100,000 Rand, just saying. So you get all of those scripts, all of those prompts, all of those things is in my vault, and you get access to that. You also get access to the Confident Alchemist community. It's just a community where we come together, we share some stories, and we give each other support. Okay, networking is extremely important. And then you have lifetime access to recorded sessions and to the vault. So you can do it on your own and always go back and go back and go back. Here's just some clients' results that I help clients with. So Sarah, she actually started a successful nougat business while she was running a corporate engineering firm. She didn't even know she can make money out of nougat. Guys, I got her listed. I connected her with somebody in my supply chain, and now she's supplying bulk quantities. Okay. Megan, she literally turned her holiday home. She didn't even know that she can do Airbnb. So now she's doing Airbnb. She's making more money. She actually quit her corporate job. See, I'm very good at spotting opportunities because I've trained my brain to spot opportunities. And you can become the same. Michelle, she was actually in a supply chain between the wine farms and then sending out the products. And she actually used that skill and she turned a profitable business of supplying niche wines because she knew already all the suppliers and she knew what people were actually looking for, that the bulk don't supply because I only supply wines that everybody buys. She saw the niche market of the boutique hotels who want something different, and she started her business there using her current skills. You see, guys, it's possible. How can you enroll? You can enroll by actually signing up with these links. You can phone me or book a clarity call with me. Go to my website at Debbie Hartmann Official. There is a calendar link. Book that link with me. Okay. I think the link is also my Instagram. So link that, click there, book a call with me so I can have a one-on-one with you quickly and I can see where you're at, how I can help you. Okay. Otherwise, pop me an email. My email address will come up and say, I'm ready. I've got this. I want to create freedom right now. And you sign up. As easy as that. Is this right for you? Guys, I don't work with everybody. I'm very exclusive when I choose my clients. I need to know that you are the right fit. You need to be ready to quit. Not planning on one day. I don't work with one day people. I work with today's people. Okay. You already almost like your resignation letter is ready. You have more or less of what you want to do. But even if you don't know, I'm going to help you. But I need you to be committed. You have the financial investment. You have the time investment. You are ready to take this brave leap. That is my ideal client. If you're still working, thinking, contemplating about it, come to me when you're ready. Okay. So the final thoughts is you need to decide where you want to be next year. You need to decide if you want to waste more time, energy, and money trying to figure this out alone. And you need to decide whether you want freedom-based business or stuck in your soul-sucking 9 to 5. Without a decision, nothing changes. Decide now in a time, and you're going to have more freedom by doing something that you love. Guys, it is really that easy. You don't have to overcomplicate, overthink it. It is really easy to start a business on the side while you're still employed. See your valuable skills. Find the problem, do your micro offer, and start advertising around you. Start speaking about it. Listen, look at Facebook groups. There are people looking for your solutions, but you need to have the right mindset to do this, to be committed, to be resilient, to keep on going. Never give up. But I'm here to help you. That's why I'm here. I love what I do. I get results. So if you want a fast track way to starting your own business, look me up. There's my email address, info@Hartmann official, and then you can contact me. So if you have any questions, please pop me an email, send me a WhatsApp, slide into my DMs. I am there to help you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up again. And if you are ready, guys, once again, take the brave leap. It is definitely worth it. Okay.